Alright, so here you can see the baffle is fully tabbed in, and we got our core cell. We actually ended up ordering Dynacell because the shipping on the core cell was going to be like 10 times the amount. And with the Dynacell, I was able to order it from like a fiberglass website and got very reasonable shipping, so it worked out to be a better deal, and I think it's very similar stuff. So what we're going to do here is actually, well, I'll show it to you real quick. Alright, so this is our Dynacell. And basically, we just got a big sheet of it, and we're going to cut out a template, and then cut this out, and make a fiberglass top for the tank. And we'll have two inspection ports, one in the front part, and one in the back part, and yeah. So this is 1/8 inch thick Dynacell, and basically, oh, I just realized it's not called Dynacell, it's Divinacell? Divinacell? Okay, well, anyhow, guess I've always just read that Dynacell for some reason. Anyhow, this is 1/8 inch thick, and it is going to provide rigidity. So, just like coring in any other boat building like the deck, you put fiberglass on either side, and it is lighter weight than building up real thick fiberglass, but it adds rigidity and a little bit of strength. So it's good for decks and lids and stuff like that, where you need a flat, rigid surface, but you don't want to have too much added weight. So that's why we're using this. And this is not a high load area. Like I said, we're probably just gonna have maybe some storage, maybe some canned goods or something, I'm not really sure, but it doesn't need to be super high strength, so 1/8 inch is plenty fine. And then we'll add a few layers of fiberglass on either side and tab it into place, and we'll be good to go. Alright, so we're just going to measure and transcribe onto this piece of cardboard. And basically the tank lid needs to be 37 inches from front to back. Okay, so that's 37 inches. Now I'll go grab this measurement. That is 42. So this is actually not 42 inches wide. Okay. That is exactly centered, so at least we can find the center. So that's 21 is right here. So that's our center line. Okay, and now that we know the center, we can find the smaller measurement up here, and then we'll have to create some angles. That is always the part that I struggle with. I know there's some fancy way of making templates, and I've just never figured it out, as I talked about in one of the last videos. So anyhow, we will stumble along with the math and geometry, but we will eventually arrive in the right spot. So the front there is 14 inches. So if we align the 7 right on center, got 14, 0. And then what I'll use, I use the baffle as a good measurement spot, and hopefully we can create our angles from there. Okay, so the baffle is 2 feet back. And it should be 33 inches at the baffle. So 32, 33. Okay, so this is 32 inches wide, so right here. Okay, those angles should be pretty good. I wonder if I have. Alright, I'm just going to go up there and do a quick test to make sure this is right so far. I guess one of the other things I can do is go ahead and mark this. Alright, let's see how this looks. Alright, so here we have the template that we just made, and now we're just going to need to fill in these little corners. So basically, if you take the same angle that we cut and you inverse it, it should be exactly the same. And then you just use some sort of straight edge. Alright, and there we have the template for the lid of the tank. And basically there's going to be a big hole, like an inspection plate right here, and all of the plumbing will come out of here because that's the deepest part. And then there will be another just purely inspection and cleaning plate up here. And this one right here, we're just going to probably reuse the old aluminum one since it's already threaded and already has all the fittings and stuff that we're going to need. This one up here, I'm just going to make a like a fiberglass little lid that you can pop off if you need to get in there and clean it, or for our purposes, you know, we'll be painting and all of that stuff. So yeah, anyhow, here is the start of the lid. So basically what I'm going to do is put some tape on here, and then we'll come out and trace it onto the Divinicel, or however you say it. And now that I'm thinking about it, I won't even need to tape this because the Divinicel is only this wide, so I can just use these to trace it on the little wings. And I'm going to make a little note here that doesn't actually need to be this pointy at the end. So basically, we're going to want to round this off like that. Yeah, I like this idea better. If we just come straight back like that. Cool. There we go. Alright, so there we have our first part of our template, and just thinking out loud here, I'm wondering if I want to make this part slightly smaller. And what I'm thinking about is there would be like a fiberglass wing, and then it would come up on this, and then there would be a fiberglass wing, and that fiberglass would be then attached to the fiberglass up there. I'm not 100% sure that it matters. I know that that's how they build decks, but I think that's because the deck is mechanically fastened, and we're actually not going to mechanically fasten this out here, so I don't think that it matters. Just thinking out loud. So I think we'll be fine just doing it how we're planning on doing, and I'm just going to keep going, because better to be larger than we need than smaller than we need. We can always trim it down if we get up there and decide that we need to trim it down. Huh, I must have just not had this all the way in there when I made this little template, because it's not quite the right size, but just make sure this is all right. Oh, I see what I did. This cardboard is a little bit wider than the foam. Okay, that's not a big deal. Okay, that should get us very, 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 very close. I wish I had some new peel ply vacuum bagging cloth, because this is kind of old and there's all this fiberglass on it. It's not going to be perfectly straight. I may have to order some more of this. That sucks. Yeah, I'm not gonna risk it. I really want this to be perfectly flat and smooth, so I'm going to order some more of this, and we'll just have to do this next time. But we've got plenty more work to do up in the tank itself before we can put this on there anyhow. So we'll go ahead and wrap that up and wait on some more of this stuff to come in the mail.